took his phone, his flip phone, and I put my number in there. He was like, do you like that? Do you like that? And I was like, I didn't know if he was talking about the piece of meat or if he was referring to his son as a piece of meat. Hey you guys, welcome back to our channel. If you don't know us, I'm Yvonne.
And I am Vis.
And we're the Quintos.
Today is Valentine's Day and it is February 14th, 2019.
Most of the people that are watching are probably wondering why we're not out for Valentine's Day. And we had a switch of plans because my honey bun is injured right now on his knee. So he's on crutches, and then we just decided to stay home, and it worked out because this is something we've been wanting to do for a long time, and we want to talk more about the things that we've gone through in our relationship and how God has seen us through. And usually we put up videos about our travels and just things that we do for fun, but today we wanted to do something a little bit different.
And like she said, we're just gonna be switching it up a little bit and tell you guys how we became one.
Okay, so we're just gonna tell you the basics because most people don't know how we met, and if you watch our channel, we thought that it would be fun to share with you. And it really kind of starts with me.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so I used to be a hairstylist right after high school. I did that for about 7 years while I was going to college. When I first started working, I was working at Fantastic Sam's, and there was a security guard there who came in to come and help the girls fix our vacuum that we had that was malfunctioning. When he walked in, we were talking, and I found out that he was Filipino. And he started asking me about where my family was from. Got really excited when I told him that I was also Filipino, but that I didn't know my grandpa. Backstory, I watched my mom look for her dad for years. I remember her printing out a list of numbers of the name of her father. She called every single number and was asking to see if it was possibly her dad's number. So it was a pretty serious thing for my mom to find her dad. So when I was telling the security guard about, you know, how I didn't know my grandpa, but the only thing I knew was where he was born, what his name was, he told me that he could possibly help me find my grandpa, which was pretty crazy. He asked me to come over for dinner with my family and to bring a picture and all the information we had about my grandpa. So we got to the house. I was so excited because my mom's birthday had just passed, and I thought, hey, why not? Give it a shot. My mom's done everything she can to find her dad. It hasn't happened, so let's just go. And my mom jumped on that idea as soon as she could. When we got there, my mom was talking to his parents about everything, and that's when he came in. Right, babe?
Yep.
What do you remember?
So when I came in from a little jog with my cousin, and when we came back, we noticed that my dad brought some friends. I didn't know he was gonna bring a family, but knowing my dad, he invites everybody and anybody who is willing to eat his food.
Yeah, for real. So if you guys want to eat, Manny's got you.
I remember meeting her side of the family. Thought they were really nice. I met her. I just thought she was so cute. I thought you were so cute. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But you were more vocal than anybody else, any of your family, besides your mom. I thought my dad worked with her mom at the salon, but I just found out when I came into the kitchen. My mom was telling the story to his parents, and I love my mom, but I knew the story by heart. And I remember going into the kitchen and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna leave this conversation. I introduced myself to him, and I told him that I was his dad's coworker, and that I was just gonna stand over here because I'd heard that story so many times that I could totally quote my mom. And he was like, no, you can't. And I was like, oh really? I can. She's gonna say this next. And then we were listening, and for sure she said it, and he thought it was funny. And I told him why we were there and how the reason why I wanted this to happen, you know, as soon as possible is because my mom's birthday had just passed. And then he asked me when her birthday was. So when was your mom's birthday?
Her birthday was on the 1st of May. And that just so happened to be
my mom's birthday.
Yeah, and I didn't believe him when he told me. I was like, you're lying, that is not your mom's birthday. We went over into the room and told them, and our moms were so excited. They just had this like immediate bond. After that night, it was pretty much like, you know, we brought our information. His uncle took it. He was gonna go back to the Philippines that next day, and they were going to place information and announce it on the radio. To be honest, we never found my grandpa, for those of you that are wondering, but in return, we actually got a different blessing. So I'll go more into that in a minute. Dad had invited us back again, like not even a week later, for a barbecue. We thought it was just gonna be us, and when we got there, it was like a full-on family party. Like everybody from his family was there, all his cousins, and when I got to the house, there were so many cars, like there was no parking. And I remember walking up the driveway, like looking like, why are all these people coming in? And when I got in, it was popping. So it was a true Filipino party, which I didn't know.
Karaoke and everything.
Yeah, for no reason at all. But
and a whole lot of food.
Yeah, a lot of food. The night went on, and Vis kept bugging me to join the karaoke party. And I was like, nah, I'm good. And when my mom showed up, she's like, oh, my daughter sings. And I was like, yeah, Mom, no, I don't sing. He really bugged me, and I said, okay, fine, I'll sing if you sing with me. He was like, okay, fine. So he did, and we sang
A Whole New World.
Yeah, yeah, we sang A Whole New World. Not realizing that one day we would be changing each other's worlds for real.
Yeah.
But towards the end of the night, he had asked me a very interesting question and said, hey, what do you think the meaning of life is? So when he asked me that question...
That was a good question.
Yeah, was that your pickup line?
It wasn't. It was just something I wanted to ask you.
Yeah, well, I just assumed that he was in a really funky place in life and was looking for answers. And during that time, I really started going to church. Not that I never went to church before. I grew up going to church, but I just started attending Abundant Living Family Church in Rancho Cucamonga, and my life was changed when I got there. All I wanted to do was take people to church.
All she wanted to do.
That's it. So,
anybody and everybody.
Right. So I was so excited that he asked me that question, but at the same time I was a little confused, and I asked him, do you want my honest opinion? And he said yes, and I continued to tell him, well, I believe that we're placed on this earth to share the gospel of Jesus Christ. And he just kind of sat there and he was like, okay, yeah, that's it. I had no idea what he was thinking. I didn't know if he agreed with me. I didn't know if he disagreed with me, because he was so quiet. It was just really hard to read him. At that moment, I asked him for his phone, and I was like, hey, if you ever have any questions, feel free to call me. Give me your phone. And he was like, what? And I was like, yeah, give me your phone. So I took his phone, his flip phone, and I put my number in there. And I told him, I said, if you have any other questions, feel free to call me. We could talk about that whenever you want. And he was like, okay. But he never really did call me.
Deep down inside, I was like, yeah. That was one point.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I really wanted to just keep in contact with you, because I didn't know what you were going through, and I figured we were going to be around each other because our moms had the same birthday and became friends really quickly. But from then on, we didn't really talk that much. It was really just a few text messages here and there, or a phone call. His dad would have him call me and ask me questions, which I always thought was weird, because I figured, how come Manny's not calling me if he has my phone number? Why is he making his son do it? But whatever, I didn't think anything of it. And
I think he was setting us up.
You know, I thought that at first too. The second time we went, well, actually the first time we went there, no, it was the second time.
Second time.
So the second time we came over for that big party, I remember Manny asking me to come over to show me something. And so he took me into the kitchen, and Vis is over here cutting up, what was it?
I was kind of cutting up meat with just a tank top on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
you remember what you were wearing?
I remember what I was wearing, because he was asking you, do you like that? And I was like, wait a minute. I'm over here cutting like
He was like,
oh,
do you
okay.
like that? Do you like that? And I was like, and I didn't know if he was talking about the piece of meat or if he was referring to his son as a piece of meat. So I was like, I don't know what to say. And this is looking at me smiling. And I was like, do I like what? He was like, the meat, do you like the food? And I was like, oh, yeah, I like the food. Dude, I don't know anything about meat. I was just like, it's food. So it was really funny. And I remember going home telling my mom and my sister, I said, you know, I think Manny's trying to hook me up with his son. And they were all laughing and I was like, yeah, that's not gonna happen. And God played a joke on me because that definitely happened. My intentions were solely just to take him to church. I was not necessarily attracted to him at first, and nor was he attracted to me in a way that he would want to date me, because I was 18 and he was 24. And he just thought I was this little girl, but I was a grown woman. I'm just kidding.
I really thought you were so cute.
Oh, you're so nice.
These glassy eyes and like perfect smile and teeth. And I was like, do I stand a chance?
No. See, that was my question. I was like, what's a grown man gonna want to do with me? Like, he's grown. He's 24. He already graduated college. Like, I'm barely starting college. I just graduated from high school. And I just felt like he was so sophisticated. You ain't sophisticated, man.
I was far from it.
Yeah, so was I. I thought I was awesome. But anyway, that's pretty much how we met.
There's so much more to the story, but as we go, we will continue to speak about our journey through how we became. Because it wasn't easy, and throughout the times that you see our videos, there's a lot of love being shown in our videos, and a lot of happiness, really. But in between those takes, there were issues that we were going through, you know.
And that's the same thing with our life.
Right.
Like, it looked like all the snapshots, all the pictures, everything. People don't really know what challenges we've had. People look at us and they're like, oh, your relationship is perfect, or you guys never fight. And it's not that. Like, we really had some issues that were unspoken, and truthfully, things that we even left unspoken until this year. Like, we've really been trying to dig into, not necessarily dig up our past, but dig up the past for the sake of sharing with other people how we were able to get through whatever we got through. And although it may not have been a big deal to some people, and they feel like, well, you know, that's nothing compared to my story. We're not here to compare stories. We're here to share our experience, because there's someone out there that is gonna watch this video, and we just pray that the people that are led to see our videos can relate somehow to us and find hope in whatever situation they're in. I found it very interesting that what the devil meant for bad for my family, which was to have my mom come from a broken home, having her look for this void to be filled from her father, you know, us sticking that out, we ended up finding something, you know, much greater. You know, like there was a part of our family that was missing, but then we were blessed with a whole family that was added to our family. And I just think it's so amazing that the timing that it happened, God is so intentional in everything that he does. My mom had my brother on May 19th, and he passed away prematurely. And he would have been my older brother. He would have been the second child. There would have been 5 of us, and I'm the 4th child. So my brother passed away, and his birthday was on May 19th, and the day that I met my husband, that I met his family, was May 19th. And I remember always wondering, you know, I wonder how my brother was, I wonder what he looked like, I wonder if we would have gotten along. And these are just things that you naturally think about when, you know that there should have been someone there in your family. But instead, I got someone who's closer than a brother, and that has blessed me in so many ways, which was my husband. And I got blessed with a whole set of other siblings that are his siblings, and a set of parents that are his parents, and it's just been such a blessing. I also, you know, remember thinking like my mom, like, you know, she didn't have her dad around, and we're over here looking for her dad, and instead we find new family members once again. So just the timing of everything and how God just brought this full circle, especially for us, it was such a blessing. And I'm gonna leave that off with the scripture, Genesis 50:20 in the New Living Translation. It says, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it all for good. He brought me to this position so I could save the lives of many people." And we just pray that everything that was meant for evil towards us and our families, that we can use it to save lives or save your hope from dying in whatever circumstances you're facing today. So we pray that you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's a little lengthy, but if you have any questions, comment below. Like our videos. We definitely are trying to change the direction of this channel.
Yes.
We can't wait to make more videos and to see you guys again. All right, so we'll see you guys later, and God bless.
Bye.
All right.